Hello everybody and welcome back to The Infected. It's your boy Shadow Slayer. We're going to be trying to clear out some of the easternmost guys today. I think we'll do maybe this top circuit here and we'll see how far we get with that. Big Red should be all fueled to go and our inventory is cleared out, so that's good. Getting a little worried about that cooler situation though. It really would be nice if we could build more than one cooler, or more than two coolers, sorry. It would be, like, there's no reason to limit it like it is, so I don't know why they've done it that way, but it is what it is, and, well, no, that's the way it is. God, I love having these coal bins here. Where does this lead? Slight change, we're going to take this road right here. We're just going to start in the closer of the two loops and make our way. We're going to go on a bit of an adventure. We're going to go down this road. We're going to start here on this one. We're going to go up around this one, do this one, and we're going to come back. We're going to do this one and hit this trader right here. And we'll do a massive sell at that point. You don't see me. Alright, so ideally the goal is we're going to start collecting the last of the tech that's scattered around the map. Here's what it is. I think the change in tech point costs might actually be pretty good for the game. Of course, there's a caveat there that now you have to hit all the POI locations to figure out how many were seeded to you. Because, of course, the tech pages are seeded, I believe, at the beginning of the game, when you first load in the world. Do we go for a desert drive? I think maybe we do, guys. Well, let's make some bad decisions. I'm sure there's nothing possibly that could go wrong with heading through the bush in a massive truck. Absolutely nothing could go wrong with that idea, right? Wait, let's take this one. Yeah. Absolutely nothing that ever happens when we go off-roading, right? Get us some sandstone. Wouldn't necessarily be the worst idea. Oh, there we go. Nothing bad ever happens when we off-road. We'll just keep telling ourselves that one day it will be true. Oh, ow. Just gotta go slow. Got the road. Oh my god, where do we go? Here. Well, we almost made it all the way into town and in the backwoods. I think that's the road right there. I don't think we make this. We do not. What in the hell are we talking? Yeah, nah, that tracks. See, nothing bad ever happens. Alright, here we go. POI that I don't even know if we hit last season. The thing is, the main reason for hitting POIs in the first place is the tech pages. Yes, you want the loot, but the main reason is the tech pages. Oh, that's a rock. I thought that was a huge stump. Wasn't registering quite right. We're going to eat the cooked bacon. We're going to get rid of that. Bearing in mind that we have limited space to work with in our coolers, we don't want to be taking a ton of stuff that has to be refrigerated all the time. Because that seems like a good idea. Is that a possible Mike spawn location? Oh, I got him with both of those. Chicken or a fish? That is a fish. That is a quest item. We'll go throw that in the cooler immediately, if not sooner. We're going to have to pop out and cook these at some point. Nope, we got some electrical. I will never turn those down. Tech page. There's no upstairs. Right in the top of the dome. Get domed, son. Well, some more fuel. Take this guy now, or I think that's a Mike bed, so he could spawn over here now. Unexpected, but entirely unwelcome. Pure. Nah, don't tempt me, Cluckles. Cluckles? I swear I will end you. Where are you? What is this hitbox even? Give me that chicken meat! Wait a minute. Might definitely have to fry up some of those livers. That would be okay. Gets 7 or 1 Kevlar rate. Tech page. I don't think we're going to find another tech page in here, but we still got quite a few buildings to search, so we might hit a jackpot. I've heard they can spawn as many as 3, but I don't know if I've ever seen that. At least definitely not recently, so that would be... Come back here. Let's see. We got... Nice. Actually, you know what? Let's go with... yeah, we'll pick that arrow up later. We already got that one. Nothing here. This is the last building, so we won't be finding a third one in here, but that's not a Mike bed. It looks like a Mike bed, but it's not. We press on. So the question becomes, do we care enough about this arrow? Oh! Look at that, guys. Right through the dome. That was a bloody brilliant shot. I am William Tell when they're not illogically swerving to the side. Did I? Oh, son. No, wait. We need that. We need to do 5, 6. We need 2 more, I think, and firewood. We'll get that in. We'll get that in the next area. All right. Where are we going? Right. Before we go any further, though, so we found 2 tech there, and we got a handful more towns to go. I'm gonna call it at my estimate is we're gonna have about 6 tech left between all the different things here. We'll see where that takes us. All right. Since we're so badly hurting, I think this is maybe the place to pop a campfire down and just cook up some stuff. Oh, we need a couple more stones. That's fine. Everything's fine. Spoiled food. Any other small stones around here? Probably not. That would be our luck. You know what? Clay at a premium, so absolutely none of those logs that you want to see. More stone. No stone. All that in there. We just don't care. Cook up all those. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw all of our eggs in there. Oh, I thought this might happen. Logs. Where is it? Gotcha, Cluckles. That is 6 small rations worth of chicken right there. Good when we get home. Cooked fish, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bacon done. Perfect. Alright. Do we have more livers? We don't. That's okay though. Put bacon in there. Put the fish. Throw that in there. And then we have a box with baked potatoes in it, so let's do that. Surprised the Bambis are not coming for us right now, but I will take it. So from this point forward, we are not going to be eating bacon, because we do need that for recipes. I don't remember if you need raw bacon. I suppose we could check. We are right here. We'll throw the cooked bacon in there. So let's see what we need. Craft it. No, we want that book. There's 3 book icons up here now, and it's very confusing. Very busy up here. Right, food. Where does it tell you? It doesn't tell you. Oh, bacon pie mix. There we go. Oh, we need raw bacon for potato pie mix. That's a sun resistance one right there. Meat stew. So we could get the benefit of the health bonus on meat stew. And what do we need for that? Yeah. Raw meat, raw liver, veggie mix, and milk. Right, and this is what I'm talking about when I say the trade-off. It seems very easy to do a stew or a ration, right? But you need a stew mix and a veggie mix, right? Mind you. Stew mix, melon, mushroom, and eggs. You need a veggie mix, so in order to get the stew mix, you need the veggie mix. And then you need melons, mushrooms, and eggs for just the ration. Now the issue with that becomes, first and foremost, you can't loot any of the mixes anywhere other than the big city, and you can only do it once because they're not in boxes, right? And I think you get 2 stew mixes, maybe, total. Veggie mix, not the problem, really. It does take 4 different vegetables, though, which can take time to grow. But the problem with the stew mix is the milk. There is only one way to get milk, and that is to farm it from goats. So when you're looking at how difficult is an item to get, you have to consider all the things that go into it. So for a ration, for example, that is a multi-stage, multi-tech, without finding the 2 mixes that you could find in the city, right? You are easily looking. So you need the barn, at the very least, to get stew mixes. And you need goats, right? Now, in order to get goats, you need to be able to make trank arrows, take the advanced workbench, which is 2 points, right? And you need the butcher's table, in theory. Now, you get a butcher's table when you build a barn, you get a free one. So technically, you don't need the butcher's table, but you absolutely do need the barn, right? Greenhouse is probably going to make that easier. So that is 11 tech points, bare minimum, in order to start making rations. You can make the 2 with the mixes you find in the city, and that's it. That's the only free ones you get. So when I say it's unbalanced, you are literally relying on a tech, or you're trying to trade an item that relies on 3 different techs, 2 of which are extremely expensive. And that's why I say that you kind of need. My cat's squawking at me. Kitty! No, I'm being snubbed now. I paid attention to her, I mentioned her, so now she's not going to squawk. How rude. So that's why I say that the quests are slightly unbalanced. Also, you got to figure what do you need to build a barn even, right? If it's just nails, you're fine. But I'm pretty sure you actually require something. What do you need for a barn? Let's just look at that. Placeables, others. Barn is... okay. Nothing too exorbitant there. You do need 10 iron ingots and you do need 150 nails, so that's 25 iron. But that's actually not all that bad when you consider you can get all that without any tech at all. So you don't need extra tech just to build the barn, which I completely forgot about, right? It's not like you need a mineral extractor to get a copper or some cobalt or something. But when I say the quests are unbalanced, that's what I'm talking about specifically, right? You need all these tech to even build this item, and you're offering me 5 coins. Are you kidding me? It wouldn't be so bad. A 50 gold or a 50 coin quest is not so bad if it's 0 tech required to build that item, or it's something that you loot exceptionally commonly in most circumstances. Say nails. Well, nails, you'll find a handful of nails on most bandits. You'll find them all over the place like POIs. Odds are good if you had to bring 100 nails to a trader, you could scrounge that in a couple days without ever building a forge and without ever needing to actually refine anything. It is a lot of nails, don't get me wrong, but you could scrounge those. When it comes to things like steel, only iron ore will do, which absolutely demands a really intense grind at the very least, and a lot of luck in that case, or most likely multiple extractors, and that requires a whole bunch of mechanical parts. It requires a whole bunch of that and the other thing, right? If you're building extractors because you need a certain type of ore, then odds are really good actually that you're going to be spending almost as many nails building the extractor as you are on the item itself, right? Like it's not a good trade. There it is. I hate everything about this because I can't do anything with this wolf. I already have an animal on the back of my truck, so I can't even use the wolf. I'd rather not kill the wolf if I don't have to. That may not be up to me though, unfortunately. Break line of sight. So no tech in here, unfortunately. Just gonna do a quick double check. Pretty sure I didn't miss anything, but you never know. Nah, we got it all. That's fair though. You're not gonna find tech in every location. Oh, you know what I don't know if I ever did? I don't know if I ever put that food in there. Don't tempt me. I don't have any room? Oh no. Well, I suppose if I had to swap one out. Actually, what am I talking about? I need to eat breakfast anyway. Just have a couple of fried livers, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Oh, we can have a third one. Let's get some of this stuff squared away. Jesus, look at all that. See, we got Big Red, we got most of the stuff that we're going to need for most of the game, and we got this much fuel just kicking around on our truck. It just seems a little ridiculous. And then maybe it's easier because we're not using the ATV, because the ATV seems to be a little less fuel efficient, as ironic as that sounds. Bob Black Sheep, have you any wool? Probably not. Oh, I'm probably tired. Fair enough. When do we ever sleep? When do we actually sleep, right? Here's what I'm worried about, as I'm about to mention the tech pages. Here's what I'm worried about. Now, there is supposed to be only a certain amount of tech pages available. And those are seeded by default, right? And in theory, there's enough to... Well, that was unexpected. I went in, there was nobody there. I came out, and there was a dude. Those sheep that are running across the road there, the woolly ones, I really wish you could tame them. Not because they are particularly useful for milk, but if we could get a set of shears in-game, maybe, that would be extremely useful. I don't know how useful wool would be, though. I don't even know if there's anything you can do with wool. So it might just be a pointless desire there. We're coming up to another POI here. There we go. Alright, let's get to it. Oh, we'll start with this house here. Oh, that's a liver. We head immediately back to the truck. We're going to throw that in there. Here we go. Nate, I am on the wrong house. This house. I did it twice. It's a pretty fancy-ass toilet, I'm just saying. Here's another liver. Oh, deck page. I think if in the process of getting or hitting the last of the POIs, we actually get the 10 pages, I think that might be where we consider whether we can get the oil pump or not. Pretty sure that's on Mike bed. Pretty sure. I don't remember. We're making some great time. We've hit, like, what, 3 POIs already today? 4? We're making some absolutely fabulous time through these POIs. Oh, we need to put that in the... There's the truck. There we go. +1 health. There we go. 2 cooked fish. So this is also kind of an experiment, guys, because if we can wind up doing this quest that we're on, finishing it, by the time we've hit all these... So here's the thing. If you have to clear half the map to do one quest, the quest is not worth it, right? So, let's just pull up our map here. Yesterday, or last session, I believe we wound up hitting this, and I think we hit this one here. We completed this circuit here, and there was like a couple of things. There's a couple of points that we hadn't hit yet. Let's call it at 3, right? And specifically, we were looking for the fish, right? So if we go to our journal, we managed to get the 41 glass. We have the baked potatoes. We actually have those on us. We just haven't handed them in. We got 2 fish. Now, the dried meat is something else entirely because we slaughter a couple animals. We hang them out to dry. A couple days later, they're there. That doesn't really require a whole lot of work, so I'm not really worried about the dried meat. The cooked fish is the big one. Now, it is true that depending on what you catch, you could catch 3 fish and make that requirement. In which case, 11 is quite reasonable, right? But you also have to cook them, which does take time, right? I don't like the fact that this guy's back and he's going in and out of houses. I do not like that. I don't even know where he's coming from. Get an arrow to the face. Rude. Really rude. Why do we have 2 large stuffed chests? That's weird. So anyways, as I was saying before we discovered that the guys are starting to respawn, when you're dealing with more elusive stuff, there shouldn't be as many of them required. And I think that's a thing to remember when you're doing that sort of thing, letting up quests, that sort of thing, in a game. Because absolutely no one wants to go for 3 in-game months trying to find a cooked fish. The thing about going fishing, you absolutely can. There's lures, there's a rod in-game, and I think the rod takes an advanced bench. So it's literally like, it could be one of the first things that you get. Lures, however, are not as easy to come by. You need feathers. I don't want to mislead anyone, so that's the one. I think it's at the end here. Lure. You need 5 fragments, a feather, and a stick. Now, that is not on its own prohibitive, and it can be made on the basic workbench. Let's just double check, make sure that the other one can be made on the basic workbench as well before I misrepresent the facts. Fishing rod. On the workbench. So you can make the fishing rod and the lures on the workbench. That still means you need to build a workbench, right? There is a prerequisite before you can even do it. And 5 fragments are not easy to come by in the early stages of the game, right? The early stages of the game, you need to save every single one of those fragments so that you can get bars, so that you can build a butcher's table, or you can get nails to make your chair, or some boxes, or planters, or whatever. Every fragment that you have to spend on a fishing lure, let alone 5, that's an iron bar that you don't have to work with. Play dead. Rude. Right? It's an iron bar that you don't have to work with. You're essentially using an iron bar every time you want to make fishing lures. And I'm pretty sure they only make one. So I'll absolutely test that, because we got to do some fishing anyway. That's why we built where we did. The area that I'm in doesn't freeze in the winter, so we can fish. Or no, it does freeze in the winter. That's right, it does. But that's fine. It yields good fish, so that is half the reason that we settled where we did. But fishing is, by and large, unavailable most of the winter. Or in most locations in the winter, sorry, is what I meant. It's not that you can't fish in the winter, but you got to go a long ways away if you want to fish and you're not by the ocean or at a set of rapids. And even if you are at a set of rapids, it can be really hard to cast your line in the exact spot. Not all rapids can be fished. I will put it that way. They're not big enough to fish. So, again, even though you can fish rapids, really the only reliable source in the winter is the ocean. Which means you got to go down here, around here, or find somewhere along here. And that's really the only places you have to fish. There's no other way about it. You have to do it, right? If that's how you're getting your meat. There we go. Should be almost pretty much topped up in every way now. There we go. We got those. Nice. Just one little lonely building. And then we press on. Too high, I think. There we go. Alright. Let's get the hell out of here. Liver more important than one piece of cooked bacon. Hell. Alright. And we got just enough time to hit the trader, sell our stuff, loot the trader town, not necessarily in this order, and then heading home will be the last thing that we do. But actually, I don't think we're going to wind up being able to get the... Beep! Excuse me, sir. Guys, I tried to warn him. I tried. He wouldn't listen. Okay? Beep. We're doing quite well this run. Looting this looting run. Wrecked. What is that even making What is that? Why? Not even making contact with anything. It literally caught that one stray hair or whatever that was sticking up. At one point an animal brushed past that particular section of fence and got a hair caught right there. Or something stupid like that. Because I got nothing. I got no explanation for that. What is that hitbox? Just saying. There we go. I'll throw those in there. We're on track today, which is pretty amazing. There we go. No, stop it. Didn't stay very clearly. Look at that. We got like half a box of coal. Well, maybe not half a box of coal, but we got a fair amount of coal. Now, this is a very valuable chance to see if we can complete our quest at a different trader. Do you have to go to Trader 1 if you got the quest from Trader 1? Or is it a network where you can hand the quest into either trader and it just depends on where you happen to be when you hand it in? That's a good question, right? And I think we should get an answer. And we'll have our answer today. Now, I will say that I think that if we don't find any tech, because we haven't found any in this town so far, I will say that if we don't find any tech, I think we may have actually capped the tech pages for our spawn. What I mean by that is, it is entirely possible... Give me the body. Thank you. Nope. Nope. Ow! Oh, no, 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 no. Leave me alone. Nope. Stop it. Play dead. That hurt. I think we hit this house? We did. So we got a couple more houses in here. Oh, no, because... Oh, wait, hang on. Would we? Yeah, we would. That's right. Because we started this after the one major update there where he introduced the storyline. But, so, because of when we created this seed, we may not even have all the tech points that should be spawned, depending. Because if he changed the way that tech pages spawn, the number of them, we might actually be deficient here. Which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Honestly, it probably about equals out when you think about it. Uh-oh. I'll throw a rock. We'll grab that. Is that seriously all it took? Really? And our food satchel is full once again. Oh, there's some cooked fish. So, we are going to test the theory that... Holy shit. Just about walked right into him. Get wrecked. What? Oh. Right. That stupid bug. Alright. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw our stuff in here. Wow, we have almost a full box at work. And then we throw that in there. Now, I do not want to have to come back here again for a quest. So first and foremost, we're going to test two things. One of them won't be this episode, but we're going to start the experiment this episode. So, we need fish, holy hell, and baked potatoes. Now, in theory, if we can hand in quests to other traders, we should be able to hand the baked potatoes in and whatever fish we have, and we should be able to progress our quest. So we need 2 baked potatoes and all the fish. I'm not going to be a total dumbass though. I'm only going to offer her the baked potatoes and 1 piece of fish. Hey, stop it. Jobs. So this trader is tracking this quest, and it allows us to progress that. So it looks like we can hand in to either trader, which is good. That's a plus, honestly. Stop that. I think it would be a little oppressive if you couldn't hand them in to either trader at this point, because there's only 2 of them. Odds are very good. You're going to wind up handing them into whichever trader you happen to be nearest. So that's good. Take those, take those. I'm not selling those. At this point, we're just going to sell our eggs. And let's go make up whatever tea we can. I don't know how many cans we even have. But you know what? We're just going to make whatever tea we can. And we're going to sell the rest, I think. Maybe not. We could get the core string. Thing is, I don't think that's really going to make much of a difference. So, wow. Watermill's 2,500. That's crazy. I want the freezer, though. I really want the freezer because... So here's the thing, guys. The freezer is actually better than the fridge tech. And I haven't even used it yet, and I'm going to go ahead and say that that's probably a guarantee. So we didn't find any tech in here. Now that would be unusual for a trader town. And I'm thinking... Oh, wait. Oh, hang on. We already did this one. Never mind. I was confused, guys. So we're going to head back home, and I think that's where we're going to call it for today. We'll just cut this corner here because we can. At some point, I would like to play right there. There's some fairly deep water there. You can fish there. I tested it last season. You can fish there. So you can get fish in the desert, which is probably a good thing because getting anything else is going to be a pain in the ass. We go left. So the only thing the Desert Oasis doesn't really have is a cave nearby. Although it could be argued that both this cave and this cave are relatively close. Babe, he was holding a clutch of feathers. I was a little late on that one. It's okay, yielded a pipe. All it's for doing. Paid his taxes. So yeah, next time, we're not going to spend our tech points today. We're going to sit and think about it for a moment. Next time, we will spend the tech points, and then we're going to actually update the base. We're going to make some pretty big, I think, changes to the way everything is laid out, the things that we have built. Well, maybe not the way everything's laid out. We've actually been pretty good about that. But we're going to build some stuff, and it's going to be a blast. But thank you for coming with me on this expedition today. I really do appreciate it. By the way, real quick before we call it a total day here, one of my videos blew up with 300 views. I want to say thank you, guys. That is huge for me. My best video to date is 80 views in the period where they actually track it. So that's big for me. And I want to say thank you for coming along with me on these journeys. I appreciate it. It's big. But I won't take up too much of your day. I just wanted to say thank you. Until next time, you take care of yourselves and don't let the Vambies bite. All right. Take care.